Welcome to the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan.
I'm James.
And I'm Callum.
And tonight we're reviewing pretty much everything Dark Crystal, but first, James has an update. A correction.
No, just an update.
Just an update.
Yeah, before we get into Dark Crystal, I've started a Tuesday Review Instagram page. So I made it the same as the Twitter, at Tuesday Review AU. So you can follow that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't promise a lot of content, but
we give people enough.
Yeah. Follow us there.
We have a better average than one a week, technically.
Well, yeah, we got one tweet a week and one Insta post a week,
and slightly more than one episode a week.
Sometimes, yeah, depends on
our
the
average would put us over
1.5.
1.05
yeah
episodes a week.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram at Tuesday Review AU. And now, drum roll. The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, Season 1.
Full spoilers.
More like Age of Splendor.
Before we get to spoilers, I just want to say, if you're not interested in this show and for some reason are listening to this podcast, I highly recommend the Dark Crystal Netflix show.
And the movie's on there too.
And the movie as well. But the show, the amount of pure joy I got watching this, it's unrivaled in most modern...
I agree.
I was watching it. Honest to God, I felt like a kid.
Yeah.
Experiencing fantasy for the first time.
Just pure joy, like giddy excitement.
It's like... Because we don't get shows made like this, movies made like this anymore.
No.
Practical shows.
But not just the practical...
but the themes and the
heart.
The story and the characters. It's fun.
It's very fun. Yeah.
There was a review that said that this is... the quote was, it's like the Jim Henson Company at the height of their powers.
Yeah.
And that's how you need to approach it. It's a masterpiece.
Pause for the alarm. But it's a better Star Wars show than Star Wars.
It makes Star Wars look sloppy.
Yeah, it's a better Star Wars movie than The Last Jedi.
Easily.
110%. Han Solo died. Luke Skywalker died. I felt nothing. When the Archer dies in Dark Crystal,
yeah.
I know.
Pretty heavy emotions. We said spoilers, but
it's full spoiler
warning. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the Dark Crystal movie or the new Age of Resistance Netflix show, full spoilers.
I would say watch the show first, but it's not...
Look...
You can watch them in either order.
Yeah, it's either. I think if you watch the movie first, because the show's a prequel, if you watch the movie first, you kind of know how things end up, but also the show is set just far enough away...
it doesn't really matter.
And it's not really about the same. It's like more about building the world that the movie hinted at.
Yeah.
So either way, if you watch...
If you don't want to go in spoiled, watch the show first, then the movie.
Yeah.
If you don't want to know what the larger picture's going to be.
Yeah, like me, I've seen the movie many times, but I rewatched it before watching the show.
I did as well.
And I didn't feel that, even though I knew how things turned out, I didn't feel like I was spoiled.
No, it was still very much worth the watch, and I still got everything out of it that I wanted.
It did raise the question of, how are they going to, do the, match the show to the movie when all the Gelfling die.
Yeah.
And I was like, are they going to do that? And I kind of hope they do, because the show has been really dark so far. So they're kind of trying to match it to the original. But also then I would like a sequel series showing that maybe there's a way to bring the Gelfling back, or maybe there was some Gelfling hiding.
That's true.
That's what I want.
That's true. I'd like a season set after the movie.
Yeah, because in the movie you don't really see a lot of the world.
Like the rebuilding of society.
Yeah, because at the end of the movie, Kira dies, and then using the power of the crystal, she gets resurrected. So I was like, can they resurrect all of the Gelfling?
Use the crystals to bring everyone back?
Yeah, and then there's the Groton people who live underground. I was like, maybe all the Gelfling were hiding underground the whole time in the movie. That's also like my fan theory.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, no, Grot was taken over by the Darkening. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But it's fun. All this world building is really fun. And I want to see, I hope it doesn't, because Netflix, we were talking just before outside, how Netflix used to be oh, it's great that this show's on Netflix. It could never exist anywhere else. I hope it goes for forever, you know? And now it's like, oh, this show's great. It can only exist on Netflix. It'll probably last a couple of seasons and then that's it.
Yeah.
So this show must be extremely expensive to make. And
please, Netflix, please don't cancel it.
Yeah, even if it's popular, like the way Netflix has been going, they're just like, it might do 2 seasons. But for this show, I want to see 3 seasons as it is, and then 3 seasons after the movie. And the movie is like a mid...
Yeah, yeah.
You know, how cool would that be?
That would be perfect, because that gives us closure.
Yeah.
That gives us real closure.
Yeah, because if they end the series with all the Gelfling dying, and then you watch the movie as the, like, ending to the series, that's kind of a bummer. Because you've like grown alongside all these characters.
Yeah. So all this, it's like at the end of the show, we know all the Skeksis end up either dying or getting reconnected with their other selves. At the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And the Gelfling are all dead.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like one dude left and a devoid planet.
Yes, Jen and Kira are the last Gelfling left. That's it.
It's like, oh, okay. So it's like, what happens when they die?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing. Animals, I guess.
They have to interbreed with podlings
to make a superior race.
Yeah, the superior race.
No, were podlings in the original?
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought.
Kira was raised by podlings.
Of course. Yeah, of course she was, yeah.
But that's an interesting thought.
I'm hoping that ties into Hup's family. Yeah. Like, he's like, takes...
an ancestor,
Because, oh fuck, there's so much shit we could talk about. I don't know where to begin. So there's the bit where Deet gets infected with the darkening.
Yep.
And she has that... she gets the powers from the sanctuary tree.
Yeah.
And she has the vision of... It looks like Breya running in the forest with what looks like a baby. So assume perhaps Rianne and Breya are Kira's parents. And Hup... like takes the baby from Breya and like hides it in the podling village.
That'd be cool.
And then when the Skeksis are killing all the...
What happened to Jem's parents?
Jen's parents were killed by Skeksis and he was taken in by the Mystics. So that wouldn't... I mean, Hup could deliver him as well, like to the Mystics.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much...
There's so many options.
So many, but what's great about the show is that it takes what the movie set up and it just expands the world. And I love, you've got all these Gelfling clans.
And they're all distinct.
And they're all, they have like different designs.
Sometimes it's just as simple as different paints. Sometimes it's as drastic as different like features.
Yeah, but it's like they're all like from different parts of the world of Thra, and they all have like different
attire.
Yeah, like cultural dress and different head dresses.
Yeah, and like the Grottons have different like features because they look different.
Like their eyes are bigger because they can see in the dark.
Like a bit
green,
swarthier. Yeah, not swarthy.
There's like the desert
murkier.
People who are kind of like orangey. Yeah, it's really cool. They're like the blue Gelfling.
Yeah,
like it's really cool. And like I like
the Oh no, not the other ones.
I can't remember what they're called. Yeah.
But yeah,
the problem with such high fantasy world
it's all the names. Yeah, I do like the Mordras. Like each clan has its matriarchal leader.
And then there's the queen.
And then there's the All Mordra, who's like the queen.
The
of
elected
all
queen, sort of.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and it's like really just lots of really fun high fantasy world building to sink your teeth into.
It's so good. I can't recommend it enough.
It's so much fun.
I think I was at like episode 3 or 4, and I messaged James on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I said, it's probably the best show on Netflix at the moment. Like, in terms of what it adds, it's up there.
I mean, especially considering we always talk about... I guess it does the same thing that Cobra Kai does, where it enhances the original.
Yeah.
It's not just a money... it's not just a cash grab. It's not just take it or leave it kind of thing. It's like... It's so much more... than just we're taking a beloved 80s classic and making a show out of it.
Because they understand the source material.
Yeah.
And it's right back to some of the original team that were behind it in the beginning.
Yeah. The Henson Company who worked on the original, like, it's not only some of the same people, but the same kind of feeling.
Yeah.
The same soul and effort was put in.
Like
honestly, if not more.
Oh, probably even more, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a much bigger production.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, now we have stuff like 3D printing and stuff, so it's... I won't say it's not easier.
Well, I watched about half of it. You watched the making of documentary.
Oh, yeah,
and that was
yeah.
extremely enlightening.
Yeah.
They were making new sets every single day.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys said, I can't remember the exact numbers, but he said the original movie had about, I think, 40 sets, and they had 3 years prep time. He said the show had about 70 sets and had 6 months prep time. So
God.
they had to build, like design, build all these sets, plus costumes, puppets, all that, in just a really quick amount of time. Be faithful to the original while also introducing new elements. Brian Frode, who designed all the creatures, and his
his son's helping, which is cool.
Everything in the show is like designed by him, like because.
He designed some mostly original stuff.
Yeah.
He designed all the
Yeah.
creatures and all the locations and all the costumes, and they he draws them and then he gives them to the puppet builders and then they
Interpret
it. But at the end of the day, it's all from him, so everything feels authentic.
That's what it is. It's authentic.
Yeah.
And that's a very important word.
Yeah.
Authenticity is the most important word when dealing with a show like this.
Exactly.
Because if it's not authentic, it wouldn't work.
No. Especially when you've got stuff like Star Wars, which feels so fake now. Like
soulless.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so soulless. Like they're trying their hardest to ape the originals, to copy it, but it's soulless. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you look at Star Wars, not authentic. Cobra Kai, very authentic.
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal, very authentic. And they've done these sorts of spin-off shows before, or sequel shows. Like they did a Minority Report one that lasted one season, and it was trash.
Yeah,
that was not authentic.
I mean,
because it was
that was kind of almost like a Blade Runner show, wasn't it? Or was that was there a Total Recall show? No, what am I thinking of?
There was a reboot of Total Recall.
Oh no,
we don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about that.
No, but like for instance, the Minority Report show, it didn't know if it was a cop show or if it was like a love story.
Yeah.
So it wasn't authentic.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I guess that also comes into the argument of what makes shows like Cobra Kai great and what makes shows like Age of Resistance great.
It takes that original message, that original...
Not just that, it's the storytelling.
You know what it is?
It doesn't matter how many great the puppets are amazing, but it doesn't matter how many cool puppets you have if the story's not good.
It's because
if you don't like the characters.
It's the difference is with some of these reboot shows, it becomes a procedural. When if you're doing like a long form story that's based on something, it kind of has to be just like a long movie. You can't have like a weekly problem.
That's the best thing about streaming.
That's why I don't like Lucifer so much.
Yeah, premium cable shows and streaming shows, it's like I always say, are good because they're 8 to 10 episodes.
And they're primarily serialized.
Yeah, and they have a story from start to finish. Yeah. Like, it's not Monster of the Week. It's not 25-episode seasons with lots of filler.
The Lucifer TV show is a comic book in which it's pretty much one continuous story with arcs.
Yeah.
But the TV show is very procedural. Who got murdered this week? Let's find... The devil's going to help us find out. Ha, ha, ha.
The devil's an investigator. Isn't that a cool idea?
Yeah, I'm like, no, everyone, like, you can't... That property is done now.
Yeah.
Like, people... Don't get me wrong, people like it. But as far as an actual interpretation of the Lucifer comics, it's done now.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so good that the Dark Crystal succeeds. Yeah. Because at least we can't say, oh, well, do you remember when they tried making Dark Crystal show and it failed? Yeah. What a bummer.
The best shows that do this, like Cobra Kai, like Dark Crystal, they take the DNA of what made the movie great and they expand upon it. And
it's kind of rare as well when it works. These days, it's kind of rare.
Yeah.
So I suppose we should start talking about the
where to begin?
20 minutes in. All right.
Can I say, the first time I knew I was watching something special was, I think it was episode 1, maybe, when Deet comes out of
the tree,
out of the tree, and she sees a fizz gig for the first time, and I got so excited because I love fizz gig from the original, but in the original he's just called fizz gig. That's like the but of course now there's many of them, and they're a fizz gig. Yeah, like that's like the
fizz
species
is the
name.
species. Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
like how
hold on, he rolls over on his back, and you just see the hand puppet rub the belly. I'm just like. I said to Nathan, I'm like, so much winning already. Yeah.
She's like, oh, you like belly scratches.
I'm like, yes.
I like that, is it Mordra Farah has her own fizz gig, like
with the eye patch?
Yeah, like an attack dog.
And it has an eye patch?
Yeah, so good. Oh, man.
No, like, the show is so well constructed. Like, you know, the painted sets, everything's sculptured and minis.
Yeah, let's just talk about like the look of the show.
It's fantastic.
Amazing. Like
it's real in a sense. It's physical. It's tangible.
Like it's insane that like the sets are built, the trees, the plants, the little animals all built and puppeteered, and then you've got the buildings on top of that. Then you've got the actual puppets and all the different types of creatures, and then they've got their individual clothing and necklaces and beads and all that and weaponry.
And they had to like. Talking about the houses, like they had to factor in how big the houses need to be because they need to get the puppets inside them.
Yeah.
It wasn't just let's build an inside set. It was like, no, the puppets are going in these houses.
Then you also have to think of like they have to build the sets on raised platforms so the puppeteers can go underneath.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, they have to build them in sections so they can pull them apart so the puppeteers can run in between.
And obviously need to get cameras in there.
And cameras and stuff. So it's like really, really impressive how much work and effort went into this.
And most of the CG is pretty good.
That's one of the problems I do have with the show is that even though 95% of the show is all practical, all puppets and all, sets and all that, they obviously do have some things where they did CGI.
Can't be avoided.
Yeah. The best parts of the CGI are the smallest bits, like blinking, stuff like that. The worst parts are when a creature is fully CGI, is like running.
Like a Lance Strider?
But yeah, I don't like what they did with the Lance Strider, because in the original movie, the Lance Striders are guys on stilts.
Yeah, and you can tell, but it looks so Lovecraftian. I said to Nathan after I finished watching the film, I'm like, that's a very good children's introduction to the works of H.P. Lovecraft.
Get them on there early. Yeah, but it's like, it was guys on stilts running. It was really cool. And in the show, like when you see a Lance Strider running, it's CGI. It looks terrible. Close up, they still made it. There's still a couple of shots where it is stilts, but really, it's not a big problem. It's so small. The amount of, like I said, the amount of impressive practical elements is so astounding.
The goodwill that this show sets down.
We can ignore a few CGI.
A couple of wobbly CGI bits. It doesn't matter. Like
the heart was there.
Yeah, and exactly at the end of the day, it's all in service of the story and the characters, and. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a big problem.
We were talking before the show about that documentary they were making, and one of the guys in charge of original programming at Netflix, they commissioned some test footage.
Yeah.
And there was a CG version where the Gelflings were CGI and the Skeksis were in puppets.
Yeah.
And it looked terrible.
Yeah, the CGI Gelfling looked like shit.
The CGI Gelfling looked terrible. And I guess they weren't sure whether they were sort of going ahead with the show or not.
Yeah.
Until this dude at Netflix is like, we're going to do the show, but it's going to be all puppets.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that like Netflix from the outset is like, look, we'll spend the big money on this show.
Yeah.
Because we want the best result. And the best result for the Dark Crystal, for its authenticity, is all puppets.
Yeah.
Either do it all puppets or don't do it at all.
Exactly. Like, because at first they were going to do like an animated show. And, if an animated Dark Crystal show came out, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But as we've seen with the Age of Resistance, like, the best way to do it and the most authentic way and the way that ended up bringing so much joy to us neckbeards.
What's the puppets? I think
he's being like, how do we recreate the magic of Henson's, the world he created?
And people listening at home thinking we're like fucking idiots over here, but I can't express exactly how much happiness and joy I got from watching this show.
It's such a good show.
When I got to work after I'd seen 5 episodes, and I said to my boss, I walked into work and I'm like, I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
And this is in relation to episode 3, which we'll talk about. I said, I have never been so excited to see puppets have a sword fight in my life.
We were talking about just before we started recording about how, Game of Thrones, everyone's jerking off Game of Thrones. Yeah. This is where it's at.
Yeah, this is the next step in fantasy.
This is like some really cool high fantasy shit.
Actually, hold on, let me read something from my notes.
If you think, Game of Thrones is the only fantasy I like because it's serious and dark, it's like, no, man, check this shit out.
Look, I put the world building is second to none.
Yeah.
Right, second to none.
Yeah.
I put, and there are some seriously high fantasy notions, such as the like the hero's journey,
Yeah.
the prophecy, the mystics,
Yeah.
the dual sides, the yin,
Yeah.
the yin
Mother
and the yang,
Aughra, yeah.
the weapon of destiny kind of tropes.
The Mother Aughra is like space journey that you don't even
like
get to see.
some seriously high fantasy shit.
Yeah.
It's implemented,
Yeah.
introduced, and conveyed in a way that is palatable to not only neckbeards but to a general audience.
So
Mother
this
Aughra's
is a
motherfucking rebirth.
this is essentially a gentle introduction to some really nerdy stuff.
Like
I love that. I love the fact that people who aren't nerds will be watching this. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I love that." I'm like, "Cool." Now here's Lord of the Rings.
Because one
Here's
thing,
Wheel of Time.
One thing we always talk about on this show is how 80s kids movies were just darker. They
Yeah.
were just like a little bit more scary. Now, as time went on, and now especially, kids movies became very
safe.
bland and very safe. And I think kids like to be a bit scared. And like they
It's
like that,
exciting.
and most kids, some kids there's an exception, but most kids can handle it. And I like
a bit
how
of a thrill, yeah.
yeah, and I like how this show, even though it's made with puppets and is based on an 80s quote unquote kids movie, it still retained that darkness.
Yeah.
And on one hand, that's because the people who grew up with the movie are now old enough to handle it. But on the other hand, it's authentic. It's also authentic to the original. But also, I was watching the show. And I was like, I think kids now would really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because all they see on TV is the safe CGI, show.
Yeah, that's
This
right.
is different. It's weirder. It's darker. Adults will like it.
Oh,
Adults,
we're all
it's-
adults here.
Yeah.
I can't get enough.
Adults will maybe introduce it to them, and so it'll be like more serious.
You know what this is? This is that fabled family show that we don't have anymore. That sort of general audiences, adults will like it, kids will like it. It has stuff for everyone.
But I think family now has become sort of
Frozen.
Yeah,
That
like
type of
It's a
thing.
kid's word.
It's family now means kids.
But back in the day when the
Yeah.
Dark Crystal was made,
We actually-
there was something for everyone in these movies.
I think we actually talked about this when we talked about the original Star. Like we were talking about Force Awakens or something. We're talking about the original Star Wars was a family movie,
Yeah.
but it was a 70s family movie. So
Yeah.
it was kind of dark, kind
And
of
this is
creepy, a little
more
bit
like-
violent.
This is more like
Now,
that.
yeah. Now, if you make Star Wars a family movies, quote unquote, but they're just kind of
It's
bland and flat. And yes, you could say, well, Last Jedi has a bit of darkness here and there, and
Yeah, but
Rogue
man-
One is gritty, but it's so manufactured and fake and soulless.
It's like it's fed into a machine. Like they put criteria
Exactly.
in the machine, and then
Yeah.
a movie comes out the other end.
Yeah, the original Star Wars is like, it feels a little
Yeah.
dangerous. Like, it feels like they actually went to these planets and filmed there. You're like,
Yeah.
the practical...
Don't let the Resistance spot the camera
Yeah,
crew.
the
sorry, don't let the Imperials spot the camera crew.
the practical effects, like they were so tangible.
Yeah.
Now it's manufactured fake darkness, fake
Yeah.
violence.
It's grimdark. I think that's
Yeah, it's just grim. Like they film it a little bit darker. Everyone wears grey, and everyone's a bit more serious. And apparently that means it's more dark and serious and adult. But in reality, it's just kind of bland.
yeah.
No,
I agree.
Whereas Dark Crystal, it's light and funny and exciting and adventurous.
but also,
But it's
dangerous.
also it also gets into that
There's some
darker
threat.
80s territory. Yeah,
But one thing I will say that I love about the show is, as dark as it is, it's also got that 80s hope.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's never a point where one of the characters is like, we can't win.
Yeah.
Like, it's always that kind of, yeah, we can. Let's just rally up everyone
Well,
else. We can find X, Y, or Z.
Like we were talking at the start of the show how I was like, how are they going to end it? Because the show pretty much will have to end where the
Yeah.
movie begins, where all the Gelfling have been genocided.
But this is also a magic
But
world.
also, that's true. But also, I'm watching the show, and I was kind of the end of the season 1, and I was like, I know they all die, but I felt hopeful.
yeah, no. You don't
Yeah.
know what's coming.
Yeah, and also, like Nathan
I
said,
think-
it's magic. Like they can.
I think what you said that'd
Yeah.
be a good way out of it.
They resurrected Kira. They can resurrect other characters.
Yeah.
So, and really, we haven't seen the rest of the world, so we don't know how many Gelfling there are
There
left
actually are,
in
yeah.
hiding. Like
That's
there
right.
could be many in
Yeah,
hiding.
no, that's right.
Like, even if you take the Skeksis out of the equation, you can still have a story. You can still have, like, say, all the Gelfling got revived. Now they know the power of the stone. They
Yeah.
know whatever. Mother Augra's not around anymore.
You
Whatever.
still got the Arathim,
yeah.
Yeah.
the spiders.
Well,
Like,
see, we don't know what happened to them.
yeah, that's right. So
Yeah.
they're pretty much one thing.
Well, unless because see, this is the thing: is the show sets up that the Skeksis scientist turns
Mark Hamill.
turns the Arathan and the other slave creatures into the Gartham,
Yeah.
like soldiers.
Yeah.
So it's potentially they genocided all the Aratham as well. But yeah, we don't know, and that's why I want this show to go on.
I kind of say I thought it was really clever how the Aratham talk through the
Oh, the
legs.
ascendancy! I
Yeah,
really
the
like
ascendancy.
I like the idea of that hive mind.
Yeah,
Like,
and
we
the way
are
they
the
talk.
ascendancy.
Yeah, the legs kind of form together to form a kind of pseudo
Yeah.
mouth. I love that.
I laughed my ass off when one of them tried to take over
Mother Augra.
Mother Augra.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually,
And
no, I wrote the quote down. Let me get the quote out. You dare to try and control Augra? Augra can barely control Augra.
I
just like,
and
good
then
attempt.
I like he becomes her little
Yeah.
helper. And she
Yeah,
puts
yeah.
the eye in.
It's
him
like, you know when you've been beat. It's
Yeah.
like you can't control Mother Augra.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that how they go on the
It's the
side of
Bombadil thing, right? It's like no one knows where she came from.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
Bomba-
I was watching the show and I'm like, are they going to explain her? And I'm
No.
like, no. I'm like,
Don't
good.
need to, yeah.
Like
'Cause,
she is Thra. She just kind of was born one day and exists.
and you don't need to know the extent of her powers.
yeah,
No,
She
leave
probably
her-
doesn't know the extent of her powers,
No,
really.
that's right.
And it's like, she died, and she was like, all right, and then she got revived, and she was like, all is well.
yeah.
All right.
I think
okay.
that was her plan. That was her
Yeah,
plan.
that was her
though.
plan.
Yeah,
It was like, this is the yeah.
It's the Bombadil thing. It's the it's the what did I had to talk here and refer to it like the sacred kind of mystery.
yeah.
yeah, and
There's
it's
some
like,
things you don't
Yeah.
touch, you don't explain.
and it's like the crystal, even the crystal was reluctant to take her essence.
Oh yeah.
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 When they're trying to take Mother Augra's essence, she's just like,
Even the crystals.
Even the crystal's like, I don't really want to.
Maybe not.
yeah.
So I
So
suppose we should actually start talking about the show.
Where
so-
to begin?
Yeah,
This
I
is
know,
the
so-
problem. There's so much
Well, let's
stuff.
talk about the
we-
cast.
Yeah, we won't talk about the story because I mean we'll talk in it. We'll talk bits and pieces
Yeah.
as we go. But it'll take
Basically, it's a prequel to the movie.
Yeah.
That sets up the 7 Gelfling clans. Gelfling are like,
Yeah.
they're like, well, this is another thing I want to talk about. Another tangent to go on. When you think of elves, most people I think now think of the Lord of the Rings elves, tall,
Yes.
beautiful, statuesque.
Legolas.
Yeah. But like elves, I think traditionally are small creatures, right? With big ears. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or, like,
I'm pretty sure
I
they
think
were.
in folklore,
did Tolkien create the idea of the human style elf?
I don't think he did. I'll have a look on it.
But anyway, I like how the Gelfling are kind of like little elf people.
Yeah.
They're like little short little elf people with big pointy ears. There's 7 clans of them. They live peacefully in Thra, this mystical world.
And they trust that they trust the Skeksis to look after the crystal.
The Skeksis are these horrible bird reptile-like creatures who look after the crystal of truth, which is like the heart of Thra, which is like the world. Like the crystal gives. Let's say it doesn't really give all life to Thra, but it lives in harmony with Thra, and they're the guardians of the crystal, and the Gelfling trust them to look after them and keep peace.
They came from space.
But, yeah.
Initially, Mother Augra was the protector of the crystal.
Yeah.
And they offered her an oratory to go out into the vast reaches of space in her mind.
Yeah,
And she liked that idea.
Yeah.
So she entrusted them to look after the crystal.
yeah.
While she sort of journeys in her mind in space.
Yeah. But in reality, the Skeksis are evil, power-hungry, greedy creatures who were secretly draining the crystal of its power
To keep themselves young and
to keep
powerful.
themselves young and powerful, and in the process corrupted the crystal and turned it into the dark crystal, and in the process also created the darkening, where all like the
like a
environment,
poison.
the environment and animals on Thra get poisoned and get violent and get sick. And at a certain point, they've kind of corrupted the crystal and Thra enough that they can't go any further. And so they start to use the crystal to suck the life essence of Gelflings and use that essence to keep themselves young.
Yeah.
The Gelfling find this out, and it's basically the first season is about the journey of the main characters to unite the 7 Gelfling clan who
To take the fight to the
who
Skeksis.
believe the Skeksis are their like one true overlords and should not be questioned, to unite them in a war against the Skeksis.
Yeah, so if the first season is called the show's called Age of
Age of
Resistance.
Resistance, yeah.
This is sort of setting up the
Sets
resistance.
up the resistance against Skeksis' rule.
So season 2 should be like straight into the action, basically.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. And
If we get a season 2, touch wood.
yeah, I think we'll get season 2, but then after that, you know, Netflix will just be like, oh yeah, we got enough new subscribers from that Dark Crystal show.
Well-
We'll cancel it.
Completely unrelated. But see, they got Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I wonder how many billions they spent on that.
But I don't know if we'll get it in Australia because
Well, it said globally.
Did it?
Apparently, it said Netflix said global rights. But we'll see.
Global and little star
Yeah.
asterisks, except
So-
Australia.
I did my Jamie roll and I looked up
Yeah.
like the history of elvish appearance. And originally, elves were just meant white being, like strange white being.
Ooh.
And now they've been likened to pixies, demons,
Yeah.
incubi, various different
Yeah.
forms.
'Cause I
But I
guess-
think like the pop culture appearance of elves was pretty much
'Cause-
defined by Tolkien.
Yeah, because I guess you got Santa elves who are like little funny creatures.
Yeah, so
and then you've got Tolkien elves.
Elf was kind of interchangeable with like fairy or demon
Yeah.
with an A and an E. You
Yeah.
know, like that kind of pixie.
Pixies, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just like how Gelfling are like that kind of elf. Like, and they're not the Tolkien elf. They're like
Yeah.
little creatures with
But
you
they're
know,
not
big
stout
ears.
like dwarves, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not dwarves either. What were we talking about?
Oh, can we talk about the hairstyles, man? Some 80s. Nathan was like,
Yeah.
this reminds me of
Well,
Deathstalk, and I don't know why.
yeah.
I'm like, it's the hair.
Yeah, it's Rian looks like Jen from the original, so we're assuming Rian is Jen's father, maybe grandfather, but I don't think the show takes place that far back.
Yeah, it would.
But
It's
yeah,
probably
he's
just an
definitely got
homage.
definitely got like an 80s mullet kind of thing
Yeah, I'm
going
like,
on,
yeah.
like hair metal kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Like the wigs, man.
Yeah, and I like how he's got the kind of, I guess his people from the forest, the Stonewood people.
Stone in the wood, yeah.
They have colors in their hair.
Yeah, and they also have like he has like eyeliner, not eyeliner, eyeshadow.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, so cool.
It's awesome. One thing, so like I love the original Dark Crystal, but out of Labyrinth and Neverending Story and even Legend, those classic 80s fantasy kind of kids movies, Dark Crystal was always kind of my least favorite.
Yeah.
Not because it was bad or not
No.
because it was worse, just I didn't like it as much.
To be fair,
It only had two primary characters, so it's
Yeah.
like you
So
can only do so much.
That's
for
one thing. The show, like the movie was all puppets, and there was no. It's live action, but there's no humans on screen, and like the movie still felt real to me, and still felt alive. But yeah, because there's only the two Gelfling, like it felt kind of empty at times.
Yeah,
I think I would agree. I think I
yeah.
would agree with you.
And also the Gelfling, the way they're designed, and obviously the limitations of the technology and the puppets at the time, they're a bit like stone-faced and kind of creepy looking. But overall, like it's not a big problem. I like the movie.
That's one thing that made me laugh when the behind the scenes documentary they showed that.
Yeah, yeah. But the show, I think it kind of
Opens everything up.
yeah,
a bit.
it opens as like the Gelfling still have the same designs, but they're just the technology's slightly better. The puppetry's slightly better.
The CG helps
They use
a lot
a
as
little bit
well.
of CG to blink
Animate
and
the faces
Yeah,
and
just
stuff.
just a little bit. So it brings them to life more, and it just like kind of made things even more alive.
more
Yeah.
tangible,
Yeah.
kind of like more. It's
Natural.
It's
Yeah.
natural's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it makes it looks more natural.
But like just the show at its core, like without the like I keep saying, without the technology, without the puppetry, without the effects and that, like it's just at the end of the day, like the characters are good and the story
Yeah.
is good and the world is interesting.
The writers know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked though how they had a series. I like the way they went about writing the show though, and it's kind of amazing that it's as well put together as it is at some point. So they had the writing board, and they would have a series of events they want to happen, and then they'd have to find a way to connect each event.
Well, that's a lot of writing, is where you come up with scenes and then you figure out how to connect them and how to order them, and you do a lot of swapping and chopping and changing. So it's not unusual, but as we see with a lot of sci-fi, a lot of fantasy, a lot of reboots, the kind of wouldn't this be cool ends up kind of taking away from the actual story and characters, and it's just there for the sake of it. Whereas this show, everything in it, I felt like it should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what I
Even
meant is the order of the scenes, the way the story is told feels natural.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like they were just sort of trying to work
No.
it in that this happens and
Yeah.
this happens.
No.
It doesn't feel like that was sort of like they wrote themselves in a corner.
No. Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they obviously everyone who works on this show has passion for the original, which is what you need. You need a deep passion and respect for what you're working on.
And so essentially, sorry, go on.
You go on.
So essentially, the story revolves around the resistance, if you know, the titular resistance of Gelfling. They uncover, or I should say, Rian uncovers
me and Nathan were talking about this while you were researching elves.
yeah, we've already been through this story.
So yeah, it's
Orcs.
basically the start of the resistance.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so the show kind of hints at the start of the resistance, but
So if we get a season 2, it's going to kick off. It's going to be like the resistance. It's going to be the Skeksis versus the Gelfling.
yeah, but like I keep saying is like if they are going to tie it up to the movie,
Everyone's going to die.
everyone has to die. So I'm kind of hoping that you know,
hoping we get that.
If I'm being honest, I would have much preferred it if they had just said it's not a prequel, it's like a side canon. Like, it's like an alternate universe Dark Crystal.
yeah, I think some people are saying that's what they're going to do, but I think from what
They've announced it's a prequel, didn't they?
yeah, no, they've announced it's a prequel, but some people are saying, well, at the end of the series, they're going to change their minds and they're going to be like, actually, it's a happy ending. It doesn't quite match up to the movie. But I feel the way the creators of the show have been talking, like I said, they have a deep respect and love of the original, and that darkness which we've been talking about is in there. And I feel like they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't betray the movie. But that's why I said I hope if there's not a sequel series, I hope they hint at least like there were Gelfling that survived or something, you know.
Yeah.
Because to have the show end where it needs to end, it would be pretty dark, even for something that is
As dark.
already dark, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially as Callum said before, even though the show is dark, it feels hopeful.
Yeah.
So you don't want to necessarily betray that message when it's like, oh, it's the end of the show. There's no hope. You're all going to die.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cast.
Yes.
Like the cast, we haven't talked about it very much, but
Insane.
it's stacked. Taron Egerton plays Rian.
Ran, yeah.
The sort of, we'll say, basically the leader of the resistance at the end of the show.
Sort of,
basically,
yeah.
sort
Like
of.
a young paladin kind of guy. Castle guard.
Yeah.
Classic
Yeah, classic.
fantasy trope.
Classic tropes all
Yeah.
around.
So good.
All the cheese, but we love it.
Love it.
Anya Taylor-Joy as Bria.
Yeah,
the
she's great.
youngest princess.
Yeah.
She's really
like
good.
a bookish kind of, she questions everything. Classic
Yep.
fantasy trope.
Yep. That's it. I told you, it's like a kid's introduction to serious high fantasy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones plays Deet, who's like a sort of resourceful, street smart kind of...
But also
Dirty Groton.
But also, yeah, dirty grotten.
you racist.
Dirty
But
Groton.
also
Yeah,
kinda-
that is pretty funny where she comes into town and they're like, ugh,
Yeah,
Groton,
ugh,
get the-"
Grotons.
They're like, you're trying to ignore... Dude!
But she's also kind of naive in a way. She's very trusting.
We have to talk about the bar fight.
Oh, yeah.
So, oh my, like...
So this is episode 3.
First, we have to talk about Hup, the greatest character of all time.
protagonist.
Best, have you got your synopsis there?
Yes, I do. So, as far as I'm concerned, the podling Hup is the main character of the show who gets eclipsed by the goings-on.
Yeah.
So, Dark Crystal Age of Resistance is a story of a podling who inadvertently gets involved in a civil war during his quest to become a paladin.
Damn straight. Hup, greatest character of all time.
Also, his broken English, best broken English.
Amazing. Hup,
Hup.
Hup.
He's
Hup.
just so full of heart, though. He'll say something, and it's just so...
He's like, Hup, protect Deet.
yeah,
So good.
but there's so much...
Paladin.
Paladin. There's so much emotion in the delivery.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. When the Allmordra like knights him,
I was like...
I was like so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
You cannot imagine how happy I was.
I know. I was there. I was like getting misty-eyed.
Yeah,
It's a
like-
damn puppet. What am I getting misty-eyed?
Yeah, exactly. This is what's so great about the show. The heart and soul put into it. The life the creators of the show bring to the puppets, it's more so than any Star Wars movie, any new Star Trek movie, you know, any...
No, that's right. I felt more emotion watching some podling get knighted with his spoon than I did watching...
Dude, when
pretty much anything else.
When they go into Stone in the Wood and they're at that bar kind of thing, and they're mistreating Deet.
Yeah, they throw her to the ground.
Yeah, and
the look on Hup's face, I laughed out loud.
And he gets his spoon and he's like, and he like jumps on their back. He's like trying to.
I was sitting up in bed. I'm like, yes,
it's fucking awesome. And then his spoon breaks, and I was like, no. But then Deet gets like a bigger spoon. And gives it to him. And he's like, it's so good.
Oh, we have to talk about the introduction of Hup.
Oh yeah.
Deet is getting attacked by a spitter.
Yeah.
And what's she going to do? Oh, you know, how's she going to get this one? Don't worry. The hero arrives. You just see him on the top of a rise.
Yeah.
Near like a what is it? Like a vine.
Yeah.
And you just see him. You're like, a hero has emerged.
Yeah. Like swings
and he
down.
swings down.
It's so good.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh man, he's the best. I love when they fly. They're in the desert and they fly on that flying beast.
Yeah.
And Hup gets airsick. And he's like throwing up. He's like, Hup won't die.
Yeah.
So good.
I put that in my notes as well. Hup won't die.
Hup
won't.
No,
it's like, so good.
So one thing I put in my notes that I wanted to mention as well was just how degenerate the podlings actually are. You see an episode with the rave. No, I'm talking about the rave.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're all like eating
with the dope music.
Like dancing. I'm like in like the non-children's version, like stuff goes down. At
That's like the
rave.
Deathstalker party scene.
Yeah.
Pigman.
Yeah.
No, but I like
so dirty.
I like where this is another great fantasy thing where Princess Breya gets kind of punished and she gets sent to
the Order of Lesser Service.
Yeah, where it's just like this kind of nunnery kind of thing.
Yeah. And you have to help the lowly people.
Yeah, and they get sent to the Podling village for the Great Deterge, which is such a cool kind of thing.
Yeah,
and like where they like wash all the dirty Podlings, but none of the Podlings want to get paid.
They love the dirt. Yeah,
so they're like running around like jumping in the mud.
And Breya's like, I'll make a deal with you. You don't snitch on me.
That's so good. I love it.
Donna Kimball returns as Aughra. Was she the original voice actress?
I don't think so.
She sounds similar enough.
No, I think they just got someone similar. I don't think it's the same though.
Okay, well she does a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good job.
Eddie Izzard as Kadia, a member of the Sifa clan.
Oh, okay.
Kadia.
Kadia.
Yeah,
the hello.
Yeah. Breya wipes his memory.
Yeah. Hello. I like at the end battle where all the Gelfling pull out their swords and he's like, hello.
This is a character I didn't pay much attention to this character. I had no idea it was Eddie Izzard.
Oh man, voice cast is insane.
Even for minor characters.
Yeah.
Like then again it goes to show how well respected this movie is.
Yeah, I think like even like, you know, you got someone like Jason Isaac and you're watching the behind the scenes making of and he's talking about, you know, the original
what the
and
movie
he's like,
meant.
and it's like that guy.
He's
like,
as big as a fan.
That guy seems like a pretty serious actor, you know, British actor. But it's like the way he talks about a puppet movie from the 80s, like it's awesome. Like everyone wants to be in this show. Everyone's on board with the show. Everyone loves the original. Everyone loves what this show's about. Like,
exactly.
And you can feel that it comes through.
And Helena Bonham Carter as the Queen.
As the Ormodra, yeah.
I love it.
So good.
Because it's not the first time she's played a Queen.
No.
Catriona Balfe as Tavra. I don't know.
No.
We'll just go through the big names, I suppose. Toby Jones as the librarian.
Yeah, he was good.
Alicia Vikander as Mira.
Yeah, like her.
Natalie Dormer as Onika.
Yeah.
Mark Strong as Auden. See, Mark Strong. I didn't know he was
captain.
in this.
Yeah, he's Rianne's father.
Crazy.
So good. Oh, dude, when Rianne finds out his father originally held the King's the glaive, what's it called?
I was like, of course
the
he
glaive?
did.
Yeah.
I was like, of course he did, because this is high fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
It may as well be a fucking lightsaber.
How is Jen not going to be related to the Stone in the Wood clan?
He has to be.
We were talking.
It's the Star Wars
we
thing.
were talking before about they introduced the dual glaive, which is such a like high fantasy idea, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. It's kind of, fantasy trope, whatever. And then it breaks at the end of the show, and it's got the shard from the original movie in the hilt. And I'm like, I love it. Great idea.
Yeah.
So good.
As you said before, Jason Isaacs as the Emperor.
Yeah, he plays the Emperor.
He's really good.
So good.
Simon Pegg as Chamberlain.
You know what? Oh, we'll get to Simon Pegg because we have to do a whole segment on Simon Pegg. But you know what bit I like when Celadon goes to the Skeksis to bargain with them. And she's like, please, I'll give you, 7 Gelfling from each clan. That's what you wanted, right? And the Emperor's like, no. And she's like, okay, how about, we'll come up with a system. He's like, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, please, at least save my sisters. And he's like,
No.
No.
Yeah. So good. Benedict Wong as the general.
Oh, yeah, he's so good.
Mark Hamill as the scientist.
Yeah.
Like, what is this lineup, man?
How many Keegan-Michael Key is the ritual master. So good. And Andy Samberg is the
heretic. He's probably my favorite of the Skeksis.
Yeah.
Just say it already.
Awkwafina is the collector with all the pustules on her nose. It's so disgusting. Awesome.
I think Bill Hader as the Wanderer.
Yeah. He's really slow.
Sigourney Weaver as the myth speaker or the narrator.
Yeah, she's the narrator at the start.
So good.
It's awesome.
Can I just say, so back, not to derail the conversation, but episode 3, there's the scene where Rian has escaped from the castle and he goes back to Stone in the Wood to get an audience with Mordra Farah.
Yeah.
So he walks in. That whole scene where there's Deep, Hup, and Rian in Stone in the Wood.
Yeah.
Was some of the best swashbuckling shit I've seen in years.
Oh, awesome.
That part where he's, like I said, that's what I was talking about when I said puppet sword fights.
Yeah.
When he like swings on the chandelier or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like sitting up in bed. I'm just like,
yeah.
Like I was like on the edge of my seat, like Jesus Christ, like why can't they put this in feature films?
Yeah, it's
like
awesome.
why? Like don't get me wrong, I love the Dark Crystal, but I want to see this at the cinemas. Why aren't people doing this anymore?
The bit at the end battle where I think the general swings down his sword between Rian's legs, and then Rian is like skidding backwards, and then the sword is like getting closer and closer, and then he flips back and then jumps on like the general's back. It's so cool.
I know, like the choreography, man.
Yeah.
Like, next level.
Some people on Reddit were complaining, the puppet battles are a bit of a letdown. And I'm like,
bullshit.
What show were they watching?
Yeah, I know.
I was like cheering in my chair.
It made me feel like a kid. Yeah. Like the fight scene with the hunter, Rian, and his dad.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that was some tense
epic
shit. I was like seriously, like on the edge of my seat.
And then he like sacrifices himself to kill the hunter and like go in the gobbles, and he's like, I was like, this is epic.
And then it gets even worse because then the hunter comes out of the pit and he escapes.
Dude, who's the guy who does the hunter voice? The guy Finchy from The Office.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Oh, really? He does?
Yeah.
I forget his name. He's a great actor. Yeah.
I'll look it up. He was so good.
He's so good.
That just made like the whole arc, which is what I wish the people who write Star Wars, they need to watch this as homework. Because the whole arc between Rian and his father, and then his father having the dual glaive, and then Rian taking it up.
Yeah, we always joke it writes itself.
No, but like this is how you do a fulfilling arc.
Yeah,
I was kind of emotional when Rian found out it was his dad's sword and he's wielding it. I'm like, he's doing his dad proud.
Yeah, could you imagine if like Rey found lightsaber and then halfway through the movie found out it was her father's sword, being Luke Skywalker? Like, it would have been amazing. But J.J. Abrams has to do this mystery box bullshit, and then Rian Johnson has to come in and be like, no, fuck everything. It's like, there's no...
And, he's kind of hesitant to wield it too.
Yeah.
Like, he does, but it's like he doesn't really...
Also, just because something's a trope doesn't mean it's
That's
bad.
right.
Like, it's a trope for a reason.
It works.
And also, at the end of the day, it's how you employ it and how you explore it.
That's right.
And in the case of this show, there are so many fantasy tropes, and yet
it's perfect.
Yeah, like I was never bored. I was never like, oh, I've seen this before. I was always like, can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah. And that actor's name is Ralph Ineson.
Yeah, he's good.
And he's so good. I'm pretty sure he has a contract where he has to be in most fantasy things
because of his voice.
Because of his voice.
Yeah, he's so good. I think he was the father in The Witch. He was Anya Taylor-Joy, who played her father. That's a good movie. Anyway,
look, I think that my feelings towards the show can be actually summarized by a quote from the heretic himself in episode 7. I am covered in wonder. I just put that in my notes.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
I love the scene where the archer and the hunter are sort of fighting.
Oh man!
And the archer's like,
The archer's like, shooting him,
Shooting
and he's like
arrows.
running. Oh man, that was so cool.
And
And
of
they're
course,
both getting
when they
injured.
hit
Yeah.
each other, they get hurt.
Yeah,
because they're
'cause they're
the same.
connected.
Yeah.
the hunter, see, like, the archer's the only target the hunter, like, the hunter can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
Because the hunter
if he
knows
kills
if he
him, he
attacks,
kills himself.
Yeah.
That's why when the archer sacrifices himself to kill the hunter, like I was like, this is some heavy shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know the archer. Like
No.
And the
Also,
archer,
as a-
and he jumps off
no,
the...
he's not a main character. He's not really
that's
developed.
heavy. It's heavy for a kids show.
Yeah.
Not a kids. It's a family show. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like when
The show
when,
gets
when the
pro-
Allmordra dies.
Yeah.
And you see the blood pool.
Dude.
I was like, shit. Then I realized this is rated M.
But the show gets progressively like more violent.
Yeah.
Where in the I think it's the second last or the last episode where the scientist beats the shit out of the slave.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
He grabs the metal handle. He's like
Yeah.
beating him to death. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that scene, like, and also the archer jumps off, sacrifices himself,
Yeah.
leaps off, and the hunter knows he's doing it. They have that sort of
And you can
psychic
see
connection
through his eyes. Yeah,
and he's like, "What are you doing?"
yeah, that was cool.
That was so cool.
Oh man, so good.
So good. And
Law. The
Oh
stone-
my god!
Oh,
yeah,
the
I'm
stone
so good at that
monster.
shit.
So forget so there's this giant stone monster.
he's like
who-
acts as like a guardian.
Yeah, who's like Brea's guardian. And at first, the creators of the show were being like, well, the way he's designed, he has to be CGI, you know? But then they were kind of like doing models and stuff. And they're like, no, we can make this work. And they actually built like a full-size rock monster and like puppeteered it. And some shots when he's running and stuff, it's CGI. But mostly, it's this really
It almost
cool
looks like
puppet.
stop motion to me. Almost.
I guess the way he moves, because
Yeah.
the puppets aren't actually inside him, they're behind
Yeah.
him, and they like move him with the sticks, and he kind of, it's really cool. But like, I love the way he's designed. He's kind of lopsided. He looks like
Yeah.
he's falling apart.
And
all the time.
he's like got a needle arm.
Yeah.
And he has the curves on his body.
Yeah, so
he's like
he
plays
can-
a record.
Yeah, but also like he can use that needle as like a weapon. It's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
He has
Really
the,
well
the,
put
the-
together.
like the life-giving stone in his mouth.
Yeah, and
They-
I like how when they deactivate him, and then the end of the show, Hup like grabs it.
Yeah,
and
the
he's like-
protagonist finds
Yeah,
the animated
he's
the
gonna reanimate
animation
it so he
stone.
can save Brea and
I just know
Deet.
you just know there's gonna be a Gandalf moment. Yeah.
No.
When-
I want
Oh,
Hup,
when he returns.
no,
at the,
here's what I want. I want Hup to like go through some shit between seasons.
Yeah.
And then by the time he arrives, he's got like a scar
Scar.
across his face. He's got a real sword.
No, he's got a spoon. It's just bigger and like on his back, like slung over
Oh
his
yeah,
back.
no, like I want like Hup the
He's got a-
Conqueror.
No, he's got a ladle.
Oh yeah.
No,
Like I want Hup the Conqueror riding load his steed. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he's like riding a Land Strider.
Yeah,
It's so
he
good.
rears it as he comes
Yeah,
across.
so,
No.
over the mountain pass.
100%, 100%. You know they're going to do a Gandalf moment when the battle's nearly lost and in comes Hub on Law. He's going to be like at the
Oh,
top of it
yes.
and Law will be like riding into
yeah,
battle.
I didn't even think of that. He has to ride on Law's
Yeah.
shoulder. Oh,
Yeah,
epic.
that's right. He rears it. It's like,
Yeah.
And he does the thing they do in the medieval movies where you're riding the horse and you like
with the ladle.
yeah, and,
And
you
there's
like
going to be a
slice
cheesy
bunch
fucking moment
of guys.
where there's going to Skeksis goes, I'm not going to be killed by a gelfling, and Hub will go,
I'm
and Hub.
No, yeah, no gaffling,
Podling.
podling.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Starts hitting him on the head with
Yeah.
the spoon. It's like dunk, 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 dunk.
Or only be better if it's an enchanted. It's like an enchanted ladle that's on fire or something.
Mother Orgra like
Like
forges
I
a
want him to
spoon.
look like Deathstalker.
Special ladle.
You know, in fantasy movies where they're forging the
Yeah.
forging the sword. It's like he's forging a metal spoon, like a
Yeah,
ladle.
yeah, yeah.
So
Like
it's
a montage? Like a montage of him training?
They pour in the molten steel into like the ladle like form. You know, the mold.
Yeah, but they would have had to set that up for a reason. They can't have Hub putting together Law back.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, so much
So good.
fertile ground.
It's
Ah,
such a good show. All right, Simon Pegg. All the awards.
Oh,
So good.
I know.
He's so good.
so good.
Just unbelievable.
Like I can't like out of all the star-studded cast, they're all amazing. Simon Pegg does such a good job with the Chamberlain.
Yeah.
It's so hard to describe.
I don't think we've ever had such a positive review on the show. That ever. Like so.
Maybe not since the old like the Dunkirk, when we reviewed Dunkirk for the old show, and I was just like, it's the best. But other than that, yeah, fuck, this is the best. It's so much fun. But see, it's such a joyous kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a great time just remembering things I just watched.
We all love The Boys. We all love talking about it. We all
But this
sang
has a
its praises.
sense of wonder and adventure
this
and
is
joy.
This is like what
It's next level shit.
This is how we should feel about the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, one of the notes I put on here now, so the group's essentially split into, or not groups, but the cast essentially splits into.
Yeah.
Some of them go off into the desert.
Yeah.
And they go to find on a trip to find the true meaning of the symbol.
Yeah.
That Breya sees in a vision.
Yeah.
And that leads them to a spire in like the middle of a desert or whatever. And that's the home of the heretic and what's his name?
Yeah, we talked
The
about this a
Wanderer.
little bit.
Yeah, no. But essentially, that's where the characters learn more about the backstory. But when they're introduced, when the two characters hand down their knowledge,
Yeah.
it's done in the form of
the puppets.
but first they have an opera.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I wrote that. I'm like, what the? I
Hup
wrote my
is just
notes. I'm like,
sleeping.
I wrote my notes. Opera. What the fuck?
I like how Hup is just like falling asleep, and he falls asleep on Deet's shoulder, and then the opera finishes, and Deet's just like, "Yay, that was great!" Like, it's just so optimistic.
And then we go full meta, and we have a puppet show within a puppet show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I was
awesome.
like, what?
The little finger puppets.
I thought
They got some
opera was
YouTuber
hilarious,
or something.
See, I've been subscribed for that guy for years, and I was like, I hope this, what can this guy do? Like, he's such a good puppeteer, like finger puppet. I'm like, this guy should get big. Now he's on fucking Dark Crystal on Netflix. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, the puppets are doing puppets.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's so good. Go watch
Best
it.
show.
so much winning.
I also...
What does our favorite dictator say? We're gonna be tired of winning.
Oh yeah, I'm tired of winning. There's so much winning.
I like where now that Deet has the power of the sanctuary tree, she can absorb the darkening.
But it's gonna backfire on her. Though.
Yeah, it's gonna corrupt her, but she force lightnings the Emperor.
Yeah, she reflects.
Yeah,
in
she
a great Star Wars moment.
Yeah, she's like
She reflects the energy back.
Yeah, that
she
was cool.
absorbs it and then.
Yeah.
How is this not just like Star Wars?
Well, like we said, it's a better Star Wars
Yeah,
movie than
it is.
last year. It's a better Star Wars movie than all the new Star Wars stuff. Like, it's just...
That's not fucking hard.
That's not hard,
but
yeah.
still.
But it's like, this is how you do fantasy. This is how you do swashbuckling adventure.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you do good characters. This is how you do good emotion,
And the emotion, like I can't understate.
Yeah.
It has some top 10 emotional feels.
Yeah.
And they're all puppets.
Yeah.
That's how good the
Feeling
writing
for
is.
the puppets. Also, we gave a shout out to all the voice actors. The puppeteers.
That's right.
That's where the performance is.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the voice actors just come in later and add their voice.
And they do their lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's hard as well because you have to match it to the puppets and stuff. But the puppeteers are the ones who bring it to life. And the operators who do the animatronics and all that.
Especially these days, it can almost be considered a dead art. We're in the era of CG, and to have such high quality puppeteering is a feat by itself.
Yeah, like it's kind of it's that great feeling when you think something's kind of a dead art, but there are still people doing it just because they love it. They're not getting recognition. They're not making a ton of money, but they just love it and they keep doing it. And then there are big shows or movies that kind of utilize them and bring them back to the forefront.
I hope,
and that's a great feeling.
I want to see more puppets. Like I want new shows, more puppets. Like I want maybe not all puppets like the Dark Crystal, but I'd love new fantasy shows like another never-ending story.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the show before, but Thunderbirds is like my favorite show. Like growing up, it was always my favorite show. Like I love it. I have I've like the whole series and the movies on DVD. Then I upgraded to Blu-ray, but then the Blu-ray versions that I got from the UK weren't the correct aspect ratio, so I bought the US version. And I've got all the merch. I love them. Thunderbirds, amazing. They're marionettes. They're on strings.
Yeah.
But just that tangible feeling. The little models and the little cars and the vehicles and the costumes. I love that tangible feeling. For that to be brought back in 2019,
I think we need it too.
we need that. We in a world where
CGI's made everything so
in a world where everything's so oversaturated with digital CGI effects, and it just becomes and you get desensitized to it.
That's right.
And like that's why every time a movie with practical effects come out, we sing its praises because we're like, this is what we want to see. This is why we love movies from the 80s and 90s. This is why 80s and 90s action movies are still better than anything that's come out in the last 20 years.
That's how they age better.
Exactly, and they age better as well. So for them to be hopefully returning, and hopefully Netflix keeps this up and doesn't just go, oh yeah, a couple of seasons, we got all the subscribers we need, that's done.
Yeah.
Like hopefully this goes, like I always say, you know what I say, 5 seasons is a good, I'd be happy with 3 seasons, you know, for this, because I know it's expensive.
As long as it rounds itself out properly.
But you know, I don't want them to be like, season 2 ends on a cliffhanger, and then they're like, nah, it's cost too much.
Yeah, you don't.
If they are going to end it on season 2, they have to at least come back for a movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
Yeah,
Like, because like I want to see more, and like you said, Callum, like I want to see more just puppets in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
More just like
More practical
also
sets.
more stop motion.
Yeah.
More puppets, more
physical
more
things.
physical
more
things,
creativity. Just
Well,
you know what I mean?
Just
Like
more practical, and more passion and like actual like love for what you're making.
Like, don't just like. I understand there's a lot of money in big budget.
Yeah.
In like big budget, like tentpole sci-fi
but it
movies,
pays off.
Yeah,
because look how good it looks.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm like, it's very well and good to just like churn out a movie script and then get it filmed by some hotshot. But you need to have that fundamental level of passion that like brings everything
also,
up a notch.
Yeah. Also understanding.
Yeah.
Understanding of how to tell a story, understanding of source material, understanding of lore and magic and
there's two shows that we jerk off pretty much constantly. Cobra Kai and this show. And they both have those things in common.
Yeah.
It's that fundamental level of respect, passion, understanding of lore and story and respect.
Yeah. And you can see both of those projects have
they bring back the magic.
Joy. Yeah, they bring back the magic of the original.
magic and the joy.
While also augmenting and explore and expanding upon, what came before. Like, the magic is the best word.
Yeah, it is literally... Movie magic's not the right term. Maybe in Cobra Kai you can argue. And Dark Crystal, they both have... Those movies have movie magic.
But I mean...
These have TV magic.
Yeah, TV. But, filmmaking magic.
Yeah.
The way you...
No, like I said, if I'm watching a movie that makes me feel like a kid experiencing something for the first time, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not that many TV shows or movies out now that make me like kind of sit there in literal awe.
Yeah.
Like the last movie that did that to me was Interstellar. For me personally.
Nolan, baby.
Yeah.
Practical effects, baby.
That's the thing. And then there's the Dark Crystal. I'm sitting in bed like, what is this?
Yeah.
Where has this been?
Yeah, like, wow.
Like the Jim Henson Company's like, you think we forgot about this? Don't worry, we know where this is all the time.
They know where they left their puppets.
Yeah, that's right.
it's like they open the vault and like all the Muppets are there and all the Sesame Street and they're all covered in dust and it's like a magical opening scene to a fantasy movie. You blow off the dust.
Yeah.
Puts the hand in and then it comes to life.
Yeah.
It's like we're back.
Oh man,
so good.
Oh man, amazing. I love it.
You know, as much as I like fizz gigs, I don't think I'd want to own one.
No, they're horrible creatures with 2 rows of teeth and always barking and
how
rolling
sad
around.
was it when the fizz gig was mourning the death of Mara Farah,
yeah.
Audra Farah. I was like,
yeah.
Oh my god, man! That
See,
poor
even like minor characters,
doggo.
minor characters die, and I was just like devastated.
I know. I was like, no. I was sad when Audra Farah died, but when the fizz gig started grieving, I was like, oh, come on, doggo.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Don't pull out the doggo feels.
Yeah, nah, man. Like Futurama did this enough.
Yeah. That's cheating.
Animals are cheating.
Yeah, it's manipulation.
No, but it's so good. And if you haven't watched it and you feel like you're spoiled by listening to the show, don't feel spoiled.
Oh.
We can't do it
justice.
Yeah, highly recommended, even for people who haven't seen the original.
Or let your kids watch it.
Yeah, just let them watch it, see what happens.
Yeah.
They might make them scared at first, but they'll get into it.
Kids like a little bit of excitement, a little bit of danger.
Yeah.
But though, I will say though, I do have one problem with the show, and that's that one of the daughters of the Allmordra, Celadon, essentially turns to the side of the Skeksis, and essentially, in my mind, becomes a war criminal, selling out her own race to the bad guys, kills innocent people, blah blah blah. towards the end, they kind of redeem her very quickly.
Yeah.
It's all sisterly love. I'm like, I understand, like you were saying, they're not sure if they're going to get a second season. So
Yeah, they want
easy
to wrap it
tie
up quickly. Yeah.
But I think they should have left that arc for a potential season
Yeah.
2. Because realistically, she's not going to get forgiven.
I thought her character was much more interesting when she turned evil, and she goes like she even dresses like a Skeksis.
Yeah, with the dark crown.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is interesting. She's kind of turned on her own people, and she's going to help the Skeksis genocide her own people. Like, and she believes so wholeheartedly in the Skeksis rule that she won't question them. But then, yeah, pretty quickly she kind of overcomes that and then apologizes to her sisters and is like, oh, you know, and then she's kind of
now I'm a good guy again.
Yeah, and it's like,
they should have left that for season 2. Maybe have it, you know,
or make her suffer more.
Yeah,
I mean, the Skeksis do strip her.
No, that's
like,
right. But,
costume, but still.
Yeah, that was the only.
And then
that's the only problem I had.
And then her sister gets killed.
So apart from that, the writing is top notch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Spectacular.
So good. I'm just really excited to see where they go next. And I like I said, I hope that they have actual time to see the story through and not just Netflix is like, that's enough.
I wouldn't be 100% devastated if they take a couple year break, really, to get themselves in a position where they can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I know that it's doing really well. It's getting lots of good publicity.
Yeah.
It's 86% on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment, 8.8 on
Rotten
IMDb.
Tomatoes doesn't mean shit, though.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's getting lots of good public. The critical reception has been very positive.
Yeah.
So,
but at the end of the day,
they only care about how many subscribers it brings in.
Netflix is kind of have shown that it seems like if you're not Stranger Things,
you're at risk.
You're at risk of getting cancelled. And if you cost a lot of money, they pump a lot of money in without getting anything returned, really. So really, once they pump that money in, they move on.
I mean, what kind of worries me is the fact that they're probably spending at least $1 billion on Seinfeld. For most of
the rights,
for the rights for most of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll pay off though.
Well,
yeah,
I think, but that'll kind of get a lot of subscribers in. I think because they're losing The Office, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is only for Americans as well.
And the only real replacement is Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But that's kind of why
people are obsessed with Friends, and they're losing Friends.
Yeah. I'd rather take Seinfeld.
Yeah, no, Seinfeld's much better. But
and the first time Seinfeld will be available in 4K.
Oh.
I feel like out of all the shows that should be in 4K, Seinfeld should not be in 4K.
There's probably an appropriate Seinfeld quote about that somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. What's the Twitter thing called? Seinfeld, modern day Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a quote about that.
But yeah, no. So Netflix is spending a lot of money lately.
Yeah,
especially on massive properties.
We've talked about before. Netflix's whole ideology is throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. Just pump money in, go into more debt. And just get as many subscribers as possible from around the world, from all different walks of life, see how it goes. But I think, and we're talking about Amazon might be just, even though they have more,
objectively
more money, they seem to be a little bit more selective, and they seem to be...
Which works for them.
Yeah, and even though they're still kind of early in their, originals phase, they seem to be slowly kind of developing things and picking things.
They almost have an HBO level of quality assurance in terms of the originals.
Sort of, yeah. So I think Netflix, as much as we love them, we also...
we fear them a little bit.
Yeah, and we also understand their kind of model is different. But yeah, when it comes to these kind of shows, I hope they put a little bit more time and care into something like this.
I think that also they should take a stance where it's about the art, not the money.
Yeah.
So if for example...
Well, see, that's what we thought Netflix was about until they started cancelling everything.
But I think that someone in Netflix should say, you know what, this is such a work of art. Literal art. Not Stranger Things is great.
Yeah.
But I feel like The Dark Crystal is more of an art than Stranger Things. Stranger Things is just... It's a real live-action fantasy show. I feel like The Dark Crystal... I'm not going to say it's better than Stranger Things because that's a complicated discussion topic. But I've never been. Stranger Things doesn't excite me as much as the Dark Crystal does.
I think I enjoyed. I think I enjoyed Age of Resistance season 1 more than Stranger Things season 2 and 3.
Yeah, me too.
One, I don't know. I'd have to like go back in time and
Yeah,
see how I felt
but
about
my
season
point is,
1 when I first watched it.
someone needs to say, I think we should just let this run its course. If that's 3 or 4 seasons, eat the cost.
Yeah.
And at the end, you have a full, completed fantasy
Well,
masterpiece.
that's what we talked about. I think what we were talking about, Lord of the Rings or,
Yeah.
or Wheel of Time,
Yeah.
where we were kind of like, we hope that we want to see a complete story, because most TV shows, you never actually see the ending. They
No, that's
either
right.
get cancelled or they turn into Game of Thrones. Like where they
They rush it, and
Yeah.
it's not
So-
the intended ending.
yeah. So it's kind of like, with these streaming services, have the perfect platform to say we're going to tell the entire
Yeah.
story from start to
Right.
finish.
Eat the cost if you have to.
I mean,
Honestly.
they're already just throwing
Like,
money
hey,
at
look,
everything. So
I'm-
why not
I'm gonna-
do
I
it?
don't- obviously-
Why not do it for something that will last forever?
I can't speak for all Netflix subscribers, but if you're going to make like shit of this high quality,
Yeah.
fucking raise my subscription price if you have to.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to be, if you
Well,
tell me,
But
no,
only
that's
if
just-
only if they can guarantee that they're not going to cancel.
yeah,
it.
that's my point. If they come out and say we'll stop canceling shows,
yeah,
but we have to raise the subscription price by a couple of dollars or whatever the price will be,
Yeah.
I'll be like, again, I don't speak for everyone. I understand that a lot of people can probably barely afford
Yeah.
their Netflix subscription as it is. But I think that if they need to adjust the cost of running business so they can have a guarantee that
Yeah.
if like I think we've talked about it before, creators should be approached and they should say,
Yeah.
we can give you 3 seasons.
yeah. Are
And-
you interested?
Yeah, and then of course, if it's popular, we can have a conversation later.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, if they can start doing those guarantees, but they raise the cost of subscription by a marginal percent,
Yeah.
I would be happy,
I would be
with
happy.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, we don't speak for everyone.
No.
But I would personally opt in to pay more if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to think that our money has gone some level of
Definitely.
contributing towards the Dark
I
Crystal.
think like when you subscribe to HBO or even Amazon, you kind of your money's going into one of their big main
Yeah.
shows. When you subscribe to Netflix,
You don't know.
they're just kind of like, we'll just put it, we'll throw it into this weird Bollywood or South Korean drama or something, because they're trying to get everyone from around the world to
Yeah.
watch. So it's like, just throw it.
And like, I get that, but
Yeah, it's like,
You know.
okay, that's understandable. That's the way they do things. But also, I want them to actually know what they've got with Dark Crystal. Know
Yeah,
what they've got
and
when
I-
they make a show like this.
I feel like, and this is obviously a first world problem, I'm almost getting to the point with Netflix where I watched Dark Crystal and it took me a week. And in that week, there must have been like 3 or 4 other shows or movies, the Netflix originals that came out.
Heaps.
And I'm like, I want to watch that, but I'm watching The Dark Crystal
Yeah.
and I'm going to forget about it in a couple of weeks when
Yeah.
I see something else that catches my eye.
Yeah.
So Netflix's thing is they're throwing everything at the wall, but they
Yeah.
need to slow down a little bit.
That's the other thing.
I
Is like
agree
there's,
with
there's
that.
an original. Well, we talked about this. There's
It's
an
at
original
least
movie
one every day.
every day. It's like original series every second day. Like it's insane, and you can't keep up, especially without all the other streaming services. So
And that means that, unfortunately, Dark Crystal hopefully it's not. It might be on the chopping block.
I reckon it's got one more season.
yeah,
in it.
like I keep saying, I think they'll do a season 2 because it's been popular and people like it, but it just costs so much. And Netflix they just want the subscriber numbers in, and then once they have that, that's it. It'll be done. But I hope, like we keep saying, I hope they don't. I hope they say, we actually want to tell this story.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because there's a lot of fertile ground.
Oh man, like I said, like the people who write this understand fantasy
Yeah.
so well. They make it look not easy, but they make it look smooth.
But
It's like
I think I've said this multiple times just in this episode, but it writes itself. The reason we say that is because they make it look easy
Yeah.
because of how well it's done.
yeah, that's right.
Do you know, like kind of
They use all the tropes to perfect effect.
yeah. And like I said,
And
they
then
have,
it doesn't
they have
feel
an
cheesy.
Yeah, they have an
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah,
If you don't understand the tropes, you can't use them.
That's right.
not well at least.
Yeah, exactly. Such a good show.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can buy you can start there's a website that sells like Dark Crystal merch and they're selling like little
Oh, do they have-
statues of Rian.
really?
Yeah.
Do they have a Hup?
No.
Oh man, I would love a Hup action figure or a little
I know they're saying
little
like, Essence-
plushie, little Hup
Yeah,
plushie with these
Essence
little
vials.
spoons.
gig.
With a little
I'd buy
spoon.
that. I'd pay that.
See, I think we talked about this as well on another episode where I think Lord of the Rings maybe we're talking about where these streaming shows are really popular, but they don't have a lot of merch.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess Stranger Things has a lot of merch. I guess their big shows have merch, but like I want the Dark Crystal show to have action figures.
Hup has an action figure.
What?
Really?
$147.
Oh, that's like a little statuette.
Yeah, statuette, so not an action
Oh,
figure.
that's
yeah.
tempting. Is that
One
US?
si- one, I like how it says 1/6.
Is that is that USD or AUD?
It'll be AUD.
Okay,
Well,
that's. I might have to invest.
Yeah, I know. My God.
Oh man, I wish you didn't show me that.
Actually, it's really well put
Yeah,
together.
no, it's
too.
nice. It's an actual
Yeah.
little statuette with a little grass under its feet and little.
Don't worry,
sculpt.
James. It has Afterpay.
Oh no, I don't want to start Afterpay because once I do that, I'll just keep buying too many things.
You can get Baffy the Fizz gig.
Yeah, just also, there are actually quite a lot of action
What is it?
figures.
Let me see. Are they from the movie or from the
No,
series?
Edge
show.
of Resistance.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm totally getting that little Hup action figure. I'm gonna get two. One I'll keep in the box and one I'll crack open.
Oh,
$25. Yeah, done. Done and done. Thank you very much, Netflix. See, Netflix, if you're listening,
We're already making money. What have we've
Don't-
talked about toys before, right?
don't cancel this show. Please, we're buying the merch.
Do you remember we talked about how no one makes toys anymore?
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah, the 80s is back in
You know,
fashion.
maybe I should have put a little asterisk on that and said no one makes toys for like Kmart, Target,
Oh,
and Big
yeah.
W.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you have to go to Minotaur in the city,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
have to go online like you are now. But yeah, like remember when we were kids. Every cartoon on TV, every movie, even adult movies that shouldn't have had toys,
had toys.
had toys at your local Kmart. Now, I know there's a billion more movies and TV shows now than there was in the 90s.
But the market's still there.
But
Kids
the
want
market-
toys.
yeah. I like
You know, these days kids have iPads, but kids
yeah.
also want toys.
I think that's what we talked about. All the merch stuff is now about like mobile games and stuff. But yeah, no, I want that Hup action. I'm getting that as soon as I get home. Oh, that's a nice Rianne statuette. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it only costs $188.
You know, like Hup's worth much more than Rianne. I think at the end of the day.
Oh,
like,
look, I agree completely.
10 Hups are worth one Rianne.
Rian is a good guy. He's
Yeah.
a warrior, but he's not a paladin.
He's not the Paladin. Oh man, so good. Hup.
Hup.
What is that? Talabim? What are the little... I wish I knew what the podling language.
Oh yeah, it's like
Talabim.
yeah.
I'm
And
like,
I like
listen to
how
it.
he throws in English in there.
I'm like, it's a little bit of Italian, a little bit of gibberish.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of Hup,
Oh,
protect Deet.
Yeah.
Go hurrah, become Paladin. So good.
So good.
Best character. But yeah, Deets, Rianne, and Breya being the sort of three main characters. It'll be interesting to see, like, because they're definitely shipping Deet and Rianne, but Deet is now infected with the darkening, and Breya obviously has a thing for Rianne. So if Rianne is Jen or Kira's father from the original movie, who's the mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see in Deet's vision that she goes like full dark.
She goes full Sith.
She's got purple, yeah. But we see, it looks like Breya carrying the baby. So it might be Breya and Rianne have Kira and then deliver it to the Podling village and hopefully Hup's like the Obi-Wan. He kind of watches over young Luke, watches over young Kira. But yeah, and then also we have to find out how Jen gets delivered to the Mystics. Also, that's another thing. So in the original movie, there are 10 Mystics and 10 Skeksis, and they're connected, so if one dies, the other dies.
Yeah.
But in the show, because I guess they wanted to have more freedom, they say that when the alien creatures came down to Thra, there were 18 of them. And so there are Skeksis and Mystics in the show that weren't in the movie that die. And then there are other unseen Mystics and Skeksis, like off-screen, that are mentioned, that'll hopefully be introduced in Season 2.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We have, like, more characters to play with, and, yeah, that'll be really cool.
I'm hoping the next season delves more into, like, Gelfling magic kind of religion.
Yeah, I like
stuff.
the...
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, I just remembered. This is so high fantasy, it has songs.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
How, like, when you're reading, they cut this out of the Lord of the Rings movies, but there's so many fucking songs in Lord of the Rings.
So the Hobbit movies are bad. The best part of all three Hobbit movies is the song, the dwarf song,
Yeah.
at Bilbo. Not the funny song, the dark song.
Yeah.
You know, na, 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 na. Best part. This show has like 3 of those.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Just like folk songs. that
Like,
the
like the
opening
Lord of the
scene.
Rings book
Yeah.
has just songs.
Yeah,
man.
like when they're like mourning the Allmordra around the
Yeah.
campfire,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
just
yeah.
start singing.
Yeah, I'm like, this is so,
So good.
This is so fantasy. Like the songs, like
It's so
because like
good.
when you read like
Yeah,
Like
they're
old school fantasy
they're like
novels,
old
like people-
Irish folk songs. or
yeah, and
something.
they're just like Lord of the Rings just has like a whole page of the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm just like cool, skipping past it, but appreciate it, Tolkien. There's a reason they cut that out of the movies. You can't have dudes to singing songs for like 20 minutes.
People still mad about Tom Bombadil, but you can imagine like the movie.
20 minutes is people singing a song
where
yeah.
it's like what do you call it? Frodo and Sam are like hanging off the edge of Mount Doom, and you don't know if they're gonna make it, and it's like, and then cut to Bombadil. La, da, da, da. Oh man.
Yeah, just like the fact that they had songs in this, I thought was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't like you couldn't understand the lyrics, it was more like just vocalizing, right?
No, there was. I think the Gelf. Wait, now I can't remember.
Was it Gelfling
I think the
language?
Gelf. No, I think there was multiple. There was English.
Oh, okay.
Like one, there was. I like in the original movie. My favorite characters were the Mystics. I like how they do that.
Was it my time? Was it nearly time to make my move?
Yeah,
or whatever.
but
yeah.
But in the show, there's not many Mystics. You only see 2. But yeah, I think then they do the opera, and the Wanderer's like, oh, he does that like the throat singing. Yeah, that's cool. Oh man, so good. Everything about it. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10.
So good.
Man.
Anything else we want to talk about?
Just one more thing. The like behind the scenes making of
It's really
documentary. Highly recommended. Watch that after you watch the show.
I still have half it to go.
Yeah,
But it's
but
so good.
I think Netflix, because Netflix, with the originals that they don't release on DVD and Blu-ray,
They miss a lot of special features.
Sometimes they have a little bit of extras down in the bottom, menu. But I think they should really get on board with that. Every original movie they should have a little section of called extras, and just have deleted scenes and behind the scenes and interviews. So everything you would get on a Blu-ray, you'd get on the...
Because they underestimate the value of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Especially this has a beautiful behind the scenes documentary.
Yeah, especially because, for most movies, I buy it on Blu-ray, I keep it, and 10, 20 years from now, I can pop that in and experience the movie and then experience the extras. Whereas Netflix, something like Okja, it's a great movie, and 10 years from now, I'll remember Okja, I can't get on Blu-ray, unfortunately, because it's Netflix. So you watch it on Netflix, but there's no extras.
Yeah.
So if they are...
Also, there's no guarantee they're not going to edit. So
that's it. Yeah, we talked about that the other day.
If you have it on Blu-ray, that's it.
Well, I guess we'll actually do a piracy episode maybe next week, like a bonus episode. But that's one of the things I want to talk about, where really, if you want to archive the unaltered versions of shows, you have to pirate them, keep them safe, because 20 years from now,
in some cases, shows like Scrubs, in which you lose the rights to certain music for an episode, and it's altered, and it takes on a different... You can't have the same meaning.
That's my... we talked about with Evangelion.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my most hated things, where they have to edit, even though it might not be a big change, where they have to change music or cut music
A lot of the times, songs are there for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
You take away that song,
exactly. Especially if you have a memory of a movie or a TV show with that song, and then you rewatch it, and it feels dirty.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Someone's manipulating your childhood. Yeah.
It's like, what? You've gone into my head and manipulated my Skeksis, my brain.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. Little scientist. I like how that shows how scientist lost his eye. That's cool.
Yeah.
The little light as well.
Yeah, he's got the little light.
Dirty Gelfling.
So good. Oh man.
I can't recommend the show enough.
Awesome. Move on.
Moving on. I think we tapped out.
Yeah. Oh, we could go for another 2 hours.
I know.
All the fantasy cool stuff. I just want to quickly mention I finished Control.
I think I'm close to... How close am I to finishing?
You're very close.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Should I play it?
Yes.
definitely. just like
so good.
just the lore and the backstory and the weird Lynchian, stuff.
Callum, without spoiling anything, there's a side mission you can do in which you hear backwards talking.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sold already. Don't need to tell me more now.
It's
I played through that today. I'm like, should I message James? I'm like,
Yeah.
the Lynch. I'm like, have I stepped into the red room?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
No, there's a lot of Red Room, the Ocean View motel, but also there's a lot of other bits where you just kind of like, and you know how we were talking about the director, how he kind of his image super. There's
so
like
cool.
there's a couple of bits like that later on, like it's really cool, and there's like Norse mythology worked in underneath.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But the gameplay and all that's really fun. The
And it's
graphics
also
and all that.
basically set in the same world as Alan Wake.
Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago or maybe last week, how, there's some Easter eggs, but it's like, no, it's 100%. There's references you can like see, like it's really cool.
One of the good things, I was actually saying to Nathan today, I'm a Sony man. I like the Xbox, but I'm personally, if I have to choose between I'm talking next generation, like when all the consoles all have 4K HDR support.
So when PS5 comes out and Xbox Scarlet comes out, you'll get the PS5.
I'm like, I'm just generally speaking a Sony guy.
Look,
Yeah.
but
it's not controversial to say that usually Sony has a better exclusives.
Yeah, no, but what I was going to say is one thing you can say for Xbox is I can easily play a 360 game. So if I wanted to play Alan Wake, I can play Alan Wake if I want to. I can't necessarily play a PS3 game without having to get a PS3.
This could be a whole show on its own, but the whole backwards compatibility stuff, has always been a big problem for me, because I've always been like with my movies and my Blu-ray collection, I've always been like, I want a physical.
Yeah, that's right.
I want a collection so that 20 years from now, 40 years
You can
from
still
now,
play 'em.
I can slap in my PS1 game and still play them.
That's right.
But it gets kind of ridiculous when you have to have 20 consoles stacked on top of each other.
Just no.
It's just impossible. So, but I think I was talking with Nathan off air one time, maybe, I can't remember, but we were talking about how now the technology's gotten to the point where hopefully that won't be a problem anymore.
Yeah. So, like, I know that, like, because you're talking about Control, and I'm like, well, it's in the Alan Wake universe. I loved Alan Wake. Haven't played it for years. Like, I'm kind of thinking about, if I had the room, I would just, like, pop on my Xbox, buy the Alan Wake game off the marketplace, and, you can just play that.
Play it on PC.
I think...
Oh, well, but still.
I think, like, just game companies in general, I know they're always thinking about the future and, more technology and how much money they can make. But for me, backwards compatibility has always been really important.
Yeah, because you don't play a game once and then that's
exactly.
it.
When Xbox started with the backwards compatibility, I was like, yes, on the Xbox train. And then they kind of gave up. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And
that was back in the 360 days.
They did,
You could get the lists on the
it's like
internet.
you have to go on the list of
supported.
what you can get at the original Xbox.
That throws us back, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then like the Xbox One, they're like, oh, you can actually go back to original games and 360 games, and here's we're going to update the list and then they're just like, nah, that's enough. And I was like, no, you have to do all of them.
I'm pretty sure the compatibility now is pretty broad, right? Like pretty much everything is supported.
A lot of the major titles. If you're a niche, if you have a niche game, odds are probably not.
A lot of them just still can't play. But like I've got my original Xbox, my 360, and my Xbox One all stacked up. I've got my PS4 and my PS2 and a PS3 all stacked up. I got my N64. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I got no more room because if I want to play PS3 game, it can't put in the PS4.
No.
I got the PS2. I can play PS1 games, so that's good. So I don't need a PS1. But it's just
and we weren't
ridiculous.
lucky enough to have that special PS3 which could play PS2 games.
Man.
First generation.
I did so much research. I was going to buy one, and then I was like, oh, it's not worth the money.
And then it costs probably...
Now it is worth the money.
They probably cost over $1,000 at this point.
But I'm hoping, because PS5 has been confirmed to have backwards compatibility with PS4.
Yeah, that's good.
And hopefully the new Xbox does the same with Xbox One. If they don't, that's really, really dumb. But hopefully in the future, it'll always just be able to play everything.
I think they should keep the software they've got now.
Yeah.
And just every console should just have beefier hardware.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so don't worry so much about backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Like, it should be built in.
That's the way. That's the way we're going, because
yeah.
these days consoles are just glorified computers.
Yeah.
PCs.
Yeah. I remember when the PS3 came out, and the early versions could play PS2 games. But then later versions, they got
Yeah,
rid of
because
that.
it was apparently too expensive.
Yeah, and I was like, that's bullshit. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
I
know-
would happily pay more
You know
Yeah.
why?
for that.
You know why? The original versions of the PS3 actually had a PS2 chip.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Is then there were rumors that they were going to release a little USB hard drive that you plug in, and that allows you to play.
I'd pay for
And
that.
I'd be like, I'll pay $200 for
like,
that.
yeah, fuck it, man. Just
Sony would make a killing. How much would it cost for them to manufacture that? Nothing.
I would pay whatever. To quote Seinfeld, I paid what it cost.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then they never did that. And so at this point, like, it's just getting ridiculous the amount of consoles that you need to go back
Yeah.
to play and, actual archive.
But,
Because a lot of games, like, once they're released, they're never seen again.
That's right.
There's no, as far as I know, there's no, like, game archive company or like government archiving.
Yeah, there's no body
project.
that handles this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if some people have got really rare games that have just never been remastered, or where the code's been lost or something. You know?
Classic Square Enix movie.
I mean,
Exactly,
I know for your
Square
old,
Enix.
for a lot of older DOS games, you can go to archive.org
Yeah,
and play
that's
them
true.
legally.
That's
but,
true,
But
yeah.
that's in very, 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 very old limited circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much more there's a much more capitalistic mindset now. It's not so much about preserving the art.
Unfortunately, piracy.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the only way. That's the only way you're going to be able to play a lot of these old games in
Yeah.
the future.
Same for old films too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like
And it's like we were just talking about before, where if you want the unchanged version of something or the original theatrical versions, piracy is oftentimes the
literally.
only way.
Yeah.
even for movies that get released now and they just don't release over here, we never get them on Blu-ray
Yeah,
or
exactly.
DVD.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like
stuff,
they
yeah.
don't play on our players.
Most stuff just straight up doesn't come out here.
I was actually saying to Nathan today, yesterday, in terms of the PlayStation, I'm like, all these games that are coming out now, like Kingdom Hearts, Control, and all that. I'm like, they kind of stutter on my PS4 Pro.
Oh, I've had.
I'm like, we're clearly entering a stage now where,
Yeah, we talked about, I think, a couple of weeks ago or last week.
I'm like, we need the PS5.
yeah.
Yeah, we're
Like
entering the phase
limits,
now.
the limits of the
When-
hardware have
when
been
when
reached.
Death Stranding comes out,
Yeah.
like I fully anticipate lag.
Well, that's what I said on the other episode, where it's
my
just
bad.
kind of like, Death Stranding is not going to run on my base PS4.
There was an update for Control which increased stability and stuff like that, and actually does run a fair bit better. But I still get 3 to 5 seconds of horrendous lag every time I unpause the game.
Was, yeah. No, I don't have anything that bad, but yeah, it does. But when a game looks that good and plays that
Yeah,
good,
I can overlook it.
yeah. But yeah, tying up the Control conversation.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's so great game, highly recommended. There's going to be a free kind of new game mode coming out at the end of the year, which is cool. And then
And
there's
two DLCs?
two paid DLCs in 2020, which like expand the lore.
I'm
and
down.
So I'm really hyped for those. So
One of them is
Really
allegedly
exciting.
an Alan Wake expansion, right?
yeah, I heard that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh.
oh! Our favorite author's back.
If that, you know what they should do? A sequel to both Control and Alan Wake, where Jesse and Alan, like Jesse goes into the AWE from Alan Wake and like uncovers Alan from, because he's still under the lake, right?
Yeah.
God, I have to replay that game. It's so good.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man. Yeah. Also, new Death Stranding footage, gameplay footage.
Kinda. Look,
49 minutes.
I'm gonna quote. I don't know if this is the same footage you're talking about that I kind of saw on the net, but some guy who was reviewing it at the end, he goes, "That was the strangest gameplay presentation I've ever seen." Is it? Are you talking about the one
No.
where he ends up bathing in the sulfur
Yeah.
lake? Like,
No, but there's it's a strange game, but like there's gameplay,
Yeah,
like actual
I elected-
49 minutes from the Tokyo Game Show.
I elected not to watch it.
Yeah, I
just saw bits and
one,
pieces.
Yeah, one, it was all in Japanese. Two, it was too long. But three, the main reason that it's kind of just at the point now, the game comes out in a little over a month.
yeah, man.
Just give me the game. I don't
I
care
know.
about all the gameplay. And all
Honestly,
that.
push the release. If there's bugs, I'll handle it. Push
Yeah.
the release forward.
Yeah,
Take my money, man.
We've seen some more footage of it lately. I haven't watched any of it.
yeah.
Because I'm at the
I
point
saw
now-
you.
it's-
if you look at Norman Reedus, his dick for too long, he punches
Yeah,
the
punches
camera.
you in the camera. You
That's
can bathe with
pretty much the
baby.
important thing I
There's-
need.
yeah,
the baby laughs and you're in the bath.
Yeah, there's heaps of stuff. Like the
I just-
whole
The BB.
I think I don't need to watch it. I want to go in blind.
Going blind, yeah. There's just...
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I guess there's too much to talk about. We won't get into.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to play the game when it comes out anyway, which is soon.
I was gonna say, who thought we'd be so close to having it released?
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. But yeah, I just want to say that the kind of interactivity meta aspect that we were speculating what's it going to be, the social media aspect, has sort of been revealed. Not really interesting.
Is it like I heard it's like Dark Souls-ish?
Yeah, it's kind of like you can sort of quote unquote help other players in their journey by like leaving things for them or like cheering them on. It's kind of just whatever, like take it or leave it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was going to be a really weird kind of
Pushing it forward.
yeah, like a meta kind of,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's just kind of like a social kind of.
We'll see how it
Yeah.
does when you're actually playing it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's a Kojima game, so the game's going to be weird. It's going to be a little bit stilted. It's going to be kind of...
It's going to be interesting because this is going to be... Now, I don't count... what was that game before the Phantom Pain? The Metal Gear Solid
Ground Zeroes?
Revengeance?
No, the last one that had Snake in it. It was the one on PS3. What was it called?
The final one in the canon.
Yeah.
He dies in the end.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sorry, everyone.
Was that a legit full release?
Guns of the Patriots.
Oh, that's fucking Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, it was on PS3.
How could you forget the number 4?
Yeah. No, so I was like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like the first full length, like actual single player game by Kojima since Guns of the Patriots, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this
well,
yes.
I mean, considering 5, he kind of left.
Yeah,
after,
and
was
left,
fired.
left.
Yeah.
No, like so it's going to be interesting because Guns of the Patriots is modern, but it's not modern.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
But I mean, I'm sure Metal Gear Solid 5
is a piece of shit.
No, it's not a piece of shit. It's just not a finished game.
Yeah, but he like most of the stuff in it started as his idea.
Yeah, but
And you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
But you can also
whereas
tell that
whereas
they kind
Death
of
Stranding from start to finish.
Yes,
It's
that's
all-
what I was going to say. It's going to be really interesting to see what the game's like because this is a wholly Kojima modern game.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really say that for Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, you can, but
it's going to be
you can
amazing.
you can feel his presence
Yeah.
and you can feel when he's gone. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there are parts where you can
I
say
think-
he was definitely involved here,
Yeah.
but then you can say this is just bullshit over here.
I just want a sequel to Psychonauts.
Yeah.
Psychonaut. There is a sequel.
A new modern sequel.
No, there is.
What?
Are you talking about
Psychonauts 2.
Are you talking about police?
Oh, you're
Notes?
talking about Police Noughts.
Police Knots.
Psychonauts is the
No,
Double
sorry.
Fine game.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I meant Police Knots.
Yeah. Oh, dude, a modern day Police
That's
Noughts
what I
2?
want.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
No, but Psychonauts 2, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
I meant Police
No,
Knots.
but I think
Yeah.
like a lot of games, like with Death Stranding, I'm like the game. I mean, it's Kojima almost. Like the game doesn't matter. Like the lore and the weirdness and the kind of discussions we'll have about
Yeah.
what it means and that's
just-
kind of what I'm excited
I'm just so
about.
happy he got to make it.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, when you're actually playing the game and the gameplay, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if I'm going to like the actual
Chuck it
game.
on very easy mode.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Oh,
see.
definitely. Yeah, there's a... See, Kojima listened to me when I was complaining about games being hard.
I think it's one of the things where we'll just have to experience it for ourselves because,
Yeah.
like, it's all like as we said, like people can talk to me about it. I still don't know what the fuck they're talking
Yeah.
about. So I'm gonna have to play it, see it for myself, see how it feels. I'll love it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to like it. Even if I don't like it, I'm going to like it kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like, even if it sucks and the gameplay's all janky.
At least
like,
it's
I'm gonna be like-
interesting.
yeah, it's interesting. It's weird.
It's like an art
different.
house video game.
Sort of, but it's like AAA
yeah.
levels of production, you know? So, that's, yeah. It's exciting.
Can David Lynch make a video game?
No.
Has he? I feel like
It's something he'd be.
I feel like he was
into.
involved with like one once, maybe. Remember when David Bowie made that video game?
Omicron.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is that what it's called?
I have that game.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
on PC.
Cool.
Let me have a look on.
He did the soundtrack. Omicron, the Nomad Soul.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
He did. He was involved with the video game.
See? Lynch.
The city. No.
What was it called?
It was called Woodcutters from Fiery Ships.
Huh. that sounds Lynch, all right. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Woodcutters from fiery ships.
It's a song. I don't know.
Are you sure? Like,
No, well, there was a website that was talking about him talking about the development process.
okay.
So maybe it started off as a video game. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
here it's just a song, I think.
Moving on.
But anyway, yeah.
Is that all we have for tonight?
Oh, System Shock 3 was announced.
What?
Very excited. There was a little trailer and everything.
Oh wait, wasn't that announced ages ago? Oh no,
No.
that was the remaster.
That's the remaster.
Yeah.
This actual legit full.
Oh, you know what?
proper
You know
game.
why I'm not excited? It's going to be poisoned by BioShock, Amnesia, all those types of games. Like the original.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
original was a very unique thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
and then
now
everyone copied it.
now
yeah.
the copies are going to influence
Yeah.
the new one
Well,
now. So
it's,
I'm like,
it's being directed by the original director of the first one, who's kind of also responsible for the original Deus Ex, I think.
Ooh.
And then the guy who directed the System Shock 2, he went on to do BioShock. So like there's good.
It's all from the same family.
It's all
tree.
from the same, yeah. And like hopefully System Shock 3, yeah, can live up to all those
We'll
games.
see.
But
I'm just more hyped for Bloodlines 2.
that's that's not going to come out for a while though. is it?
2020.
Yeah, but I mean, System Shock 3 was just announced, so that's probably still got a few
That's
years.
further
Yeah.
away.
But that's exciting. I mean,
It's exciting,
because there was the
yeah.
remaster, and then the remaster got delayed, and then there was a announcement that they were going to cancel it, and then they were like, "No, we're not going to cancel it," and then they were like, "No, we're going to release it," and then they're like, "Oh, and also there's a legit System Shock 3 coming out," so that's cool.
Very cool.
So I'm pretty sure that David Lynch's game, Woodcutters from Fiery Ships,
Yeah.
got cancelled.
Oh, okay.
This was
But
back
they
in
were working on it.
1998. Yeah,
So yeah, it was just
it was apparently it was going to be like a mist-like game.
that would be cool.
Yeah, really weird. Shame he didn't make it.
That's what's great about like indie developers who can like anyone can release their game now.
Yeah.
And you know, there's all the YouTube streamers who stream all those like weird horror games. I love
Yeah.
watching those, and like those that's where you get the weird Lynchian, Cronenbergian kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That they're really cool. Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
DreamWorks now on Stan.
Oh,
You know why? You know
we have one
why?
more thing. We have one more thing to talk about.
Whoa.
Kung Fury 2, fucking filming now.
Oh yeah, finally.
Arnie as the president of the United States.
As he should be.
So what happened was apparently Arnie was he saw the original Kung Fury, which masterpiece, and he was like, "I love this." And then he met David Sandberg, and he was like, "What's up?" And now he's in the new one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like
I'm so
perfect.
excited.
Yeah,
it's actually
perfect.
going forward.
Yeah. But yeah, they kept talking about it, and then it got delayed, and I was like, is this going to happen? And then, but
It's
it's legit
on.
happening. Is Michael Fassbender still in it?
I'm not
No
sure.
clue.
Because originally he was like the main character. Like he got cast as it, and I was like, what? And then it got delayed, and I don't know if he's still in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's actually filming now, so it's going to
yeah,
happen.
it's actually filming
There's
Yeah.
a still photo
with
or
Arnie
something.
behind the desk.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
I saw
cool.
that.
Cigar and
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so DreamWorks is on Stan. That's because Disney's taking all their shit off? Yeah.
So they're like, we got a contingency plan. We got
Yeah.
the low rent version of Disney.
DreamWorks. Look, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, it's a smart plan.
Yeah.
DreamWorks has a few. good
Showtime,
movies.
DreamWorks, still worth $8 a month for me.
Yeah.
It's like 12 now, but isn't it? But yeah.
I don't know.
B movies, DreamWorks.
Yeah.
I like B movie.
They've got some Jerry
I like-
Seinfeld too.
I like B movie before it became a meme.
I've never seen
I
it.
legit think it's a good movie.
I need to watch it then.
I like it. I think it's funny. It's really weird. It's got a weird kind of sense of humor, like kind of dark. Yeah,
Very good.
Very good.
it's awesome. That's it.
Yeah.
Whose turn? I think Nathan's turn.
I think it is. Alrighty. Thank you for listening. Please like and share the Tuesday Review Facebook page and follow us on Twitter at Tuesday Review AU and Instagram at Tuesday Review AU. You can
both
follow.
Twitter and Instagram at Tuesday Review AU. Yeah.
You can also follow James on Instagram at Channel Drifter, where he talks about all the movies we don't get to discuss on the show that he watches. You can find all of our previous episodes on your favorite podcasting application. If you like video games, check out Callum and Jake's show Sunrise Arcade, where I am a guest most of the time and sometimes desk host.
Yeah.
You can also check out Matty J's show Car Talk. That's TORQE for all your automotive discussion. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the Tuesday Review on iTunes. Adios, cousins. Hmm.